Okay, 2002 Polaris here. This is a, I think they call it a Sportsman or a Pro 500. It's actually a really good quad. It's been a good quad for a long time. Better than some of the other ones that we had. As you can see, I have it all torn apart here because it had a problem where it was intermittently either turning itself off or wouldn't start. And say hi to Rex. What up, Rex? You wanna go outside? Yeah? That's Rex. He's a good boy. Anyway, it took a ton of chasing this thing down and ordering a few different parts to kind of figure out what was going on with it. But I'm happy to say that this is the culprit. And this is actually called an RPM limiter, and it isn't even included in a lot of the schematics. So this is a schematic that I downloaded from the internet for this particular unit, and without going into a lot of detail, I'll just tell you that it's not in there. I ordered this repair manual because I found it on eBay or something for super cheap, and lo and behold, I flip to the back of it and I look at the schematic, and it has the RPM limiter right there. It's on this schematic, but it wasn't on the other one. Now this one right there, you can see it says 2002 Sportsman, 2002, well, this one says ATV Pro, but anyway, it was quite the feat tracing this down electrically. The way the system works is when you turn when you turn the engine off, there's actually a, it's sort of a CPU-like box that's in here that controls everything. And there's one circuit on it that when it's grounded, it kills the engine. And so there's like 5 different ways that it can get grounded, different ways that you can shut the machine off, or if there's like a speed limiter or whatever. This RPM limiter is actually the pathway that it gets to ground, or one of the pathways that it gets to ground. And this thing is, the black wire on this connector is full-time ground. So it's supposed to switch inside of this limiter to give it ground at certain times, but it's not working. And so, of course, for whatever crazy reason, this is not available. This is a 2002, so it's 23 years old. Crazy. It doesn't operate like a 23-year-old machine. It runs really great. I actually just got new tires for it. You can see them back there, right there. And then we just have this intermittent problem with it starting. And so anyway, I had to trace it all down. There's like I said, like 5 different grounding circuits. So what I did was once I figured out that it was a grounding problem, because what happened was I actually got it by messing around with it. I got it to where it would turn on, but it wouldn't turn off. And so then I'm like, okay, what's going on here? And I did that because I disconnected the main ground from the ignition circuit, which is where it's getting its ground from. And that ground splits off into, 5 different locations. Well, then all I had to do was isolate all those 5 locations to see which one had continuity to ground and to find out which one was the problem. In other words, it was giving ground to the CD, or what is it called, CDI box or something, when it wasn't supposed to. So it either wouldn't start, and if you disconnected that ground, then it would start, but it wouldn't shut off. And so anyway, quite interesting. But the other thing I found out is there's 2 different versions of this made by Polaris in 2002. And you have to make sure that you know which one you have when you're ordering parts. Because I did order a few parts to replace that were supposedly known common problems, but when that stuff didn't work, then I had to dive in and do a little more serious electrical digging. And I didn't actually set these tools here for the video. This is literally how I set them when I was working on it. So anyway, it should be fixed here. I'm actually, because I can't get this RPM limiter, I went online and I just bought a kill switch, and so I'm going to reinstall the ignition switch back into its hole here, so that when you turn it off, there'll be another button right there, and I'm just going to push that button and that'll kill it. So anyway, that'll solve it, and hopefully we'll get another 20 years out of this boy, because it's a good machine.